So, we are under a plum tree because we are in Seattle and we are not in Jerusalem where we would be under a fig tree, a pomegranate tree, the grapes that were just beginning to ripen as I left. But imagine Jerusalem. Imagine the Kotel. Imagine a Kotel where in the center section that overlooks, in the center of the center, men and women are praying a service together, singing a service together, with their arms around one another, and no one is bothering them, no one is looking twice, there are no police. In the women's section, in the center of the women's section, there is a group of women singing and dancing like Miriam led the women on the far side of the Red Sea. And it is completely drowned out by the joy of the circles on circles in the men's section, singing louder and dancing higher. And the two groups passing Siddurim back and forth to one another. And sometimes the trail of a melody comes over from the men's section, and the women, in our voices that are naturally not as loud, seize hold of it and sing it at the same time. Imagine in this same section the Charedi praying more forward, closer to the wall, apart from the others, their own services, their own circles. Imagine people who have come praying individually. No throne chairs, no shouts, no slander, no cameras, no police. I saw this because it happens at the Kotel every Friday night. It happens in Israel, under this Israeli government, under this Israeli Supreme Court, under this Israeli social order. This happens every Friday night. Having been there, I'm not entirely sure that it's 100% a good thing. It's almost entirely young people. And I can understand why, as our Opon teacher taught our class, under such circumstances the Kotel is called Discotel. And the more observant and the more traditional tend to be careful to come early, to come late, to say in the spaces that are closest to the wall, to pray where they are able to keep their needs for sacred space. But this is happening. Why do the women of the wall simply not come out to pray on Kabbalat Shabbat? I'll tell you why. Because the women of the wall are made up of good Jewish mothers and wives, good Jewish daughters caring for their adult parents, and for every mature Jewish woman, the busiest time of the week, when other people come first, is the very final hour of Friday night before Shekhinah arrives, before the Shabbat bride descends upon the world. Women of the wall are not at the Kotel during this Kotel because they're keeping traditional Jewish homes. They're keeping holy, the most sacred center and time of Jewish life, the family table on Shabbat, Why are women of the wall at the Kotel on Shacharit Rosh Chodesh? Because Rosh Chodesh is the woman's holiday, because traditionally Rosh Chodesh is the day that a Jewish woman is excused from her household services, from her otherwise unceasing care of others. This is the holiday traditionally awarded to Jewish women because we did not dance and celebrate and give our golds and our goods up to the worship of the sacred calf. This has been our reward through the millennia. On Rosh Chodesh, a woman may take time for her own prayer. A woman may take time to pray with other women. A woman may take time to celebrate the women's holiday. The controversy over women of the wall is not about women wearing tefillin. It's not about women wearing talit, women wearing prayer shawls. These are controversial subjects. But at absolute core, the controversy over women of the wall is a controversy over, can Jewish women come together to celebrate together and lead one another in worship the way the Oraita Miriam led the daughters of Israel, the way in the Torah, in the Talmud, the Rabbanan, the Mechitza was instituted to protect the women from coming together and celebrating on the holidays and being disrupted by disrespectful and lascivious and lustful disruption from the men. The way through the Middle Ages and medieval Ashkenazic Europe, women had their own section, led their own Torah services, and had a weekly or daily prayer service in the synagogues of Europe.